Dum-dum, beetle-dum-dum, beetle-dum-dum, beetle-dum-dum. There was a turtle by the name of Bert, and Bert the turtle was very alert. When danger threatened him, he never got hurt. He knew just what to do. He ducked and covered, ducked and covered.
He did what we all must learn to do. You
and you
and you
and you, duck and cover.
Be sure and remember what Bert the Turtle just did, friends, because every one of us must remember to do the same thing.
Because you see the two escape shafts.
Uh-huh.
The first one is the secondary. The second one, if you're looking north, is truly the primary.
Uh-huh.
And of course, it's coming out of the long cableways.
Right.
Okay. It's funny how the nomenclature, the names all change. You know, Atlas calls them utility tunnels. Titan calls them cableways, right? Access portals versus, I mean, it's just the difference. I mean, it is what it is. But, I mean, yeah, there's not going to be, but you will see that. I mean, there are so many great shots taken of then the helicopter comes in and lands with of course, Rock Hudson, and that's why the film crew was there. Okay, you will see the coffin door raise up. You'll hear the bell whining.
Yeah.
As it's going, as the alarm, as the door is opening, and then he walks down. Him and his crew, or him and his, his assistants, and as he's walking down, or his aides, and walking down, and then meet. And then what's really neat is they are standing in the powerhouse.
Yeah,
and
that's what I wanted to see.
The 1 million megawatts generators. I mean, Jesus, God, man. I mean, they had 4 of them. I mean, there was nothing like that. That powerhouse was 160 feet in diameter at its base. Yeah. And there's nothing ever designed like that ever before.
No, especially underground. If it was in 1963, pretty much in peak operational time duration, why would they let a film crew in to do something like that in operation?
Believe it or not, back then, I mean, here's a funny one, and you can do your research on it, but you'll love it when you find out. Look up Perry Mason. I know you weren't around. I was when it was there, okay? There is a Perry Mason episode that came out in the early 60s called A Misguided Missile.
Uh-huh.
It's shot at Vandenberg, and you'll see the whole launch operation. You'll see the takeoffs, the launches.
Really?
The crews. They allowed the man from U.N.C.L.E. was filming at the time that the Atlas F was just deactivating. One of the episodes was filmed going up and down the personnel and freight elevator in an Atlas F Atlas F Silo.
Damn, that's pretty awesome.
I mean, they gave a lot more. And what was neat is you were in the Perry Mason episode, it was at 576 Bravo.
Uh-huh.
All right, those were the coffin launchers, but the doors didn't break in the center to each flank.
Right.
They rolled out to the end,
yeah, like a
the
patio.
564. Exactly. Just like the original 564 A and B out of F.E. Warren.
Right.
Okay? And when you look at those, when you go to the separate control center, you will see that a portion of it, when you go through the door, the flooring has been removed. And you'll see the lower level. Well, what's neat about the Perry Mason episode is you'll see the exact layout because they're walking filming through it. So you'll see exactly how it was all laid out.
That's awesome.
Now, what's really neat is that if you then go to the President Kennedy photographs that I have there.
Yeah, I've seen those, yeah.
Okay. Major Simonson, at the time, he retired as a colonel. He called me. I'm sure he's gone now. His wife called me first and said, my dad really wants to talk to you. Now, this is 20 years ago, right? Or 25 years ago. And I'm like, God, I'd love to. Because Dale Howe, I know he was on the launch crew. And Simonson couldn't get a hold of anybody. Well, I knew how to get a hold of Dale. So I am talking to Simonson, and he is in the one photograph that is handing something to President Kennedy.
Yeah,
and you see Kennedy smile as he's looking at it.
Yep.
But you don't get to see what it is. Do you know what it is?
I don't.
Okay, it's a missile badge.
Oh, is it?
It is.
That's awesome.
You'll never see that unless you knew it from the guy giving it to him, right? So when he tells me that, he says, Gary, I got more pictures. I'm going to send them to you. Okay? And I'm like, okay, that's why you see me, like with the one where Kennedy is in the bubble.
Yeah.
Okay, in the car.
Yeah.
Well, can you imagine those few weeks later, had he been riding in that bubble in Dallas?
Yeah, that's crazy.
History would not have been the way it was. I mean, and another thing that really got me, why in God's name, the Secret Service put him in a bubble on a U.S. top secret base with missiles? In a bulletproof, that just seemed odd to me. I don't know. Look, I don't subscribe to the conspiracies, but I will say that's an odd one.
No, I'll say a very short one, very quick. We're gonna go into SLTF, but they were saying I did see this on the internet. There was a Russian spy. He sneaked out on a golf course on the edge of Vandenberg, shot the Titan, and that's what dropped the missile back into the silo. Just some stuff I heard off the internet. I know it's probably
I don't.
Very far fetched, but you know.
I'm sorry. The distance between OSTF. If where OSTF won, the Titan 1 blew. That would have been too far. You're literally right next to 395 Alpha.
Yeah.
It's too far away. You're out in no man's land.
That was a bunch of far-fetched stuff.
Well, there was a lot of talk, about, in fact, the Air Force still does testing about how could they keep from opening up, put something in front of the sliding door over Minuteman.
Uh-huh.
It wouldn't allow the doorway to open up all the way, and therefore the missile couldn't launch.
Right.
Right? They still run tests on that. That's why there's so much force. It's not a slow process that doors opens. If you'll notice on a lot of the simulated launches, the fence behind that door is a breakaway fence, and you'll see that door go flying open. It goes right through the fence, man.
Yep.
I love it. When I was there, they let us go out to one of the sites they had just launched a Minuteman from.
Uh-huh.
And of course, it was just fascinating because you got to see everything, look down in the burn hole, right? And they're refurbing it. They're going to refurb it and get ready for the next missile launch.
Yeah, that's
So it's like...
That's a conversation definitely we should have in the future. Definitely as far as Type 2 and all that. But it's like, why does it matter if the door goes away and it doesn't exist on the track anymore? Right. That missile's gone for a reason. In wartime.
Well, they used to say, I've got some original photographs. You will see that along the highway of the Atlas F sites, okay, you'll see it, the big signage say no stopping within 1 mile, okay? But I can assure you everybody did stop. Because when they were doing propellant loading exercises, that was too exciting. Here's an example. One of the guys years ago, I'm a pilot I was flying with for years. And he goes, Gary, I was going by Site 9 on the way with my family on vacation, and my dad pulls over as the missile's up, and it looks like it's leaking smoke.
Yeah. Right?
And so his mom has an 8mm movie camera, and she jumps out of the car, and she's filming it, right? And so it's like, but all of, of course, the Air Force didn't want you to stop, but how are they going to stop you? It's, I don't know.
People who don't know what that is, they were probably thinking,
oh, I know.
What the hell is that? What is that?
I mean, can you imagine?